first of all, I should create the reference data sets in the system. So first let us discuss about this concept team, and then we will come back to the location creation and the enterprise creation simultaneously team. So first of all, I have to talk about the concept of reference data sets. What is this set enablement at the location level team? So we are having a concept called team reference data sets, RDS, in the system. So what is this concept of RDS team? Let us come to the system. So reference data sets, reference data sets, RDS. Okay, so let us take up an example of our legal entities team. Let's say we have, let's suppose, two legal entities in the system team. Our client is having many, but let's list out as of now two. There is something called TCS India Private Limited, okay, and there is something called Tata Automobiles Private Limited. Okay, team. There are two legal entities in the system currently, TCS India Private Limited and Tata Automobiles Private Limited team. Under these two legal entities, we have couple of business units team. How many business units we have? Let's say we have, under TCS we have something called TCS North Business Unit, and we have something called TCS South Business Unit. Under Tata Automobiles, I have something like Tata, well, let's say something like Tata Auto Manufacturing BU, okay, then Tata Auto Spare Parts BU, let's say something, it's a manufacturing investment, or let's say Tata Auto Assembling BU, etc. like that. You can take more also team. As of now, I'm taking two business units team. So these are the two legal entities. Under the two legal entities, these are the business units that I'm having team. Let's assume this is our client's organization structure as of now. Two legal entities that our client is having. And under TCS, client is having two business units, that is TCS North and TCS South. And Tata Automobiles, they are having two business units team. Now coming to the reference data sets team, I was telling you, if you could remember team, when we're talking about our organization structure, we have another structure in the system called workforce structures. If you could remember team, what are the workforce structures in the system? I was telling you, we have 5 objects. One is jobs, grades, departments, locations, and positions. I was telling you team, right? So and also I told you team, business units are mandatory in the system. I told you why I told business units are mandatory team. All these work structures in the fusion system will be mapped to the business units. Did I told this point or not team? All the work structures in the fusion application team will be mapped to the business units in the system. That's what I told you. How that mapping will be done? Except positions among them team. Positions are directly mapped to the business units team. But a part of positions, we have 4 other concepts within the workforce structures team. Job, location, grade, department. These 4 workforce structures will be mapped to the business units. How? Between them, there will be an intermediary called reference data sets team. Between them, there will be an intermediary called reference data sets. Okay, how we will assign the workforce structures to the business units team? Via reference data sets team. So let us put out the requirement first here team. Let's take up jobs. Okay, then let's take up jobs, grades, locations, and departments. Just give me a second team. I require some other document to understand this one. Okay. Okay, fine. Right, team. So we have these four basically under the workforce structures, right? Job, locations, grades, and department. Job, grades, location, department. Now, see, team, let me put forward some information here, team, some requirement of the client. So my client has given me the requirement that uh, what are all the different types of jobs that they required in this TCS India Private Limited under these two business units, and what are the jobs that they required under the two business units team. So jobs means basically team the titles, like when we hiring the employees in the system, the designations, like we have in your company also, wherever you're working, what is a job designation that you are working team? You might be working as a consultant, you might be working as an associate or HR recruiter or HR manager or trainee, sales trainee, merchandiser, promoter, depending upon the company that you are working in, whatever the role that you are part of, that particular designation title that in the fusion system we will call it as jobs. And in every company we know team there will be a grades mechanism. Whenever an employee is being hired in the organization, they will be hired in the grades, either grade A, grade B, whatever that naming conventions that your client follow accordingly. Location means the office locations where they were located. Departments that we know, the lowest level in the organizations are called as departments team. The sales department, IT department, finance department, etc. Now team, I will put here the requirement of my client. My client is telling Kumar, for two of my legal entities, I have four business units. Coming to the jobs in TCS India Private Limited, in TCS North and South BU, I will be having the job title something like, as it is a IT company, the job titles are like this: consultant, okay, then engineer, okay, or tester, okay, or associate or analyst, okay. Then I have recruiter, okay. Then I have something called what would I say? We have something called anything that you can take a team. Um, okay, these are the list of jobs that I have in the TCS North and South BU. Coming to Tata Automobiles team, as it is a manufacturing industry, I have the jobs is automobile. I have a jobs like uh, mechanic, okay, mechanic, designer, okay. Then I have something like operator, operator, okay. Then I have something like a supervisor, supervisor, okay. Then I have what else I have team? I have something like the jobs here as um, transporter, okay. Then I have something like a trainee, etc. team. So these are the requirements that my client put forward. These are the list of jobs that they want in TCS India Private Limited in North and South BU. Means whoever the employees hiring in TCS India Private Limited in any of these business unit. These are the list of jobs that usually they will assign to the employees team. Then coming to the Tata Automobiles team, whoever the employees hiring in Tata Automobiles in manufacturing and assembling BU, these are the job designations or the titles which my customer will use for assigning to the employees working in that company's team or in that business unit's team. So the requirement is very much clear. The jobs in TCS North and South BU are these things, and the jobs in Tata Auto Manufacturing and Tata Assembling BU are these things. Team. Now, I want to define the jobs in the system and I have to assign the jobs to the business units team. How I will assign the jobs that whatever I am creating to the business units team, I cannot assign directly the jobs whatever I am defining to my business units team. Through an intermediary or reference data sets will act as a bridge between our workforce structures and the business units in the system team. Whatever the jobs that we configuring in the system, we will be assigning to the respective business units through reference data sets. It will act as a bridge between our work structures and the business units in the system team. So first of all here team, by looking at the requirement for the 4 workforce structures like jobs, grades, locations and departments team, first of all we have to take the requirement from the client. What is your client requirement? I mean your business requirement across the business units. What are all the things that you are having a common requirement, or what are all the different requirements that you have in the context of jobs? If we talk about team, the jobs in TCS North and South BU are these jobs, and Tata Manufacturing and Assembling BU, these are the list of jobs. There's a clear-cut differentiation here team. So these jobs I have to map under North and South BU of TCS, and these jobs when I'm configuring in the system team, I have to map under Manufacturing and Assembling BU team. Same goes with the grades, locations and department. Let's say grades, my client is telling Kumar, I'm having a common requirement, means across all my business units in my legal entities, I have the common grade setup. Something like I have Tata grade A, Tata grade B, okay, Tata grade C, then Tata grade D, etc. like that. So common grades I'm going to use across all my business units team. There is no differentiation within grades. But whereas jobs, I have a clear-cut restriction team. The jobs in TCS India Private Limited for these 2 business units are these set of jobs, and for these 2 business units, this set of jobs. But the grades, my client is telling they are having common requirement across all the BUs. Then the locations also, my client is telling it is common because I'm having 2 legal entities and 4 business units under that. All the locations are also common because the offices are commonly operating. We are having the offices in Hyderabad, we are having in Chennai, we are having in Bangalore, okay, we are having in Delhi, okay, and we are having the offices in Kolkata. So these are the locations that we are having. They are also common for all the business units. The locations are also common. Okay, grades and locations, my client is telling they are common across all the business units, but jobs they are different. And coming to the departments also team, my client is telling Kumar, departments are also different. For TCS North and South BU, we have the departments like TCS Sales Department, okay, TCS IT Department, then TCS Consulting Department, okay, then TCS what do you say, Support Department. Like these are the departments we have for TCS North and South BU. And in Tata Automobiles, in manufacturing and assembling business units, we have the departments like, okay, Tata Manufacturing BU, okay, Tata Finance BU, then Tata Sales BU, okay, etc. like that team. So jobs and departments, my client is having a very clear-cut differentiation team in these 2 business objects team. The jobs of Tata North and South BU are separate, and the jobs of Tata Manufacturing and Assembling are different. And the departments in Tata TCS North and TCS South are different, and Tata Manufacturing and Tata Assembly BU are different. Now I have the requirement in place now. Now I understood what are all the total jobs that my client is going to use for assigning to their employees in the system across the business unit. What are all the grades they are going to use, in which are all the locations they are operating, understood, and what are all the different types of business units they are having, departments they are having under the business units, understood. Now here team, we will be clear with the requirement at this point of time, like under which business units, what information to be defined in the system, how you will map these 4 objects to the business units. You will create the jobs. We are having a setup available. To define the jobs, we have a managed job. To define the grades, we have managed grades. To define the departments, we have managed departments. To define the locations, we have managed locations. But how these 4 work structures will be mapped to the business units in the system with the concept of RDS. See team, I'm trying to define a location team. What it is asking team when I'm creating a location, under which set you are creating it. I will go same to the manage job stream. I want to define the jobs in the system. Like I want to configure all these jobs in the system. Now see team, I will go to setup and maintenance. I will go to setup and maintenance, workforce deployment, right team. And I will search with a task called manage job. To define the jobs in the system, I will go to manage job team. Now see here team, whenever I'm trying to create a new job in the system, I'm creating a job. I'm on the create job screen and I will try to create a job called, let's say consultant. I'm creating a job here team. Anywhere it is asking under which business unit you are creating this job. Is there a provision directly I can map these things to the business units directly team? No, there is no such provision. See, I'm creating a job here called consultant. It is asking me code, effective start date, reason. Anywhere it is asking me under which BU you are creating this job? No. What it is asking? Job set. Here also what it is asking? Location? Location set. CT. These 4 objects in the system are set enabled objects. Means they will be assigned to the business units via an intermediary between them called reference data set scheme. For each business unit in the system, try to take this point in properly. For each business unit in the system, we will assign 4 types of reference data set. How many team? For each business unit, we are going to assign 4 as part of HCM is concerned team. 4 types of RDS we are going to assign to each business unit in the system. Let's say TCS North BU is their team. 4 types of reference data that we will assign. What are those, you know team? I will show you here. One job set, and then one grade set, and then one location set, right? And then one department set. For each business unit, not only for TCS North BU team, you take TCS South, Tata Auto Manufacturing, Tata Auto Assembly, n number of business units that you have under your legal entities team. For each business unit in the system, we will assign 4 types of reference data set. One job set, one grade set, one location set, and one department set. And whatever the information that we configured under these 4 sets, they are mapped to the business unit team. So here you have to identify, first of all, as per your requirement understanding, how many reference data sets for each of these 4 objects that are required. Coming to the jobs team, my client is having a clear-cut requirement team. The jobs of North and South BU are different from manufacturing and auto assembly BU. So for TCS North and South BU team, I will create one reference data set called TCS job RDS. One reference data set called TCS job RDS. And for the jobs of Tata Auto Manufacturing and Tata Auto Assembly team, I will create one job set called Tata job RDS. I will create one job set called Tata Auto job set. Now see team, I have identified 2 job sets are required for my business configuration team, for my client. For the jobs of Tata TCS North and South BU, I'm going with one set called TCS job RDS team. And for Tata Automobiles Manufacturing and Assembling business units, I'm creating one set. Now all these jobs, consultant, engineer, tester, associate, analyst, recruiter, all these jobs team, whenever I'm configuring in the system, I will create under my TCS job set. All these jobs, I will create under my TCS, sorry, under my TCS job set. All these jobs, whenever I'm configuring in the system team, I will create under this TCS job set team. And all these jobs, whenever I'm configuring in the system, I will configure these jobs under my Tata job RDS team. Okay. And now, once I configure these jobs in a system under this particular set, this set I will assign to my north and south. This set I will assign to my north and south BU. This TCS job set I will assign to my TCS North BU, and then I will also assign to my TCS South BU. TCS South BU. So C team, directly we are not mapping our workforce structures to the business units. There is no such provision team. You take job, grade, location, or department. Directly you cannot assign them to your business units team. But how you are assigning team? Through the reference data sets, we are assigning them team. So whenever I'm creating these jobs in the system team, I will create these jobs under TCS job set. And this TCS job set, I will assign to my North BU and South BU for the jobs. So all these jobs, whatever I configure under this particular set, they will be mapped to this business units team. Same goes with this also. Whenever I'm configuring this set of jobs in the system, I will define under my Tata job RDS team. And this Tata job RDS, I will assign to my Tata manufacturing and Tata assembling BU. Tata manufacturing and Tata assembling BU. Tata job RDS to Tata manufacturing and Tata auto assembling BU team. Okay. So these all jobs I'm creating under Tata job set, and this set I'm mapping to my Tata manufacturing and Tata assembling BU for job team. So all these jobs are mapped to this business unit and this business unit. And all these jobs are mapped to this north and south BU. Where the validation will take in place, team, in the front end, whenever HR hiring the employee in the system, the validation will take place team. Where as a HR in the system, if you want to hire the employee team, you should go to my client group and you should go to new person, right? And then you will pick up a task here called team, hire an employee team. So whenever you hiring an employee in the system, you will come across different tabs team. First two tabs are basic info of the person like identification and personal info. Third tab that is called as employment info tab, this one. While hiring an employee team, first two tabs are personal information tabs team. The third tab is employment info, where you will capture the assignment details of the employee. Means what? In which business unit you are hiring. Here only it will ask the team first of all, like basic hire date. Currently it will take today's system date. Legal employer, in which company I'm hiring the employee. So I'll give some details team. Okay. Legal entity, in our case it is TCS team, but currently I'm giving existing one in the demo instance. And then you can give some information like this team, something. Once you go to the third tab team, here the validation will take in place. So I'm hiring an employee in one of the legal employer called India Legal Entity 01 team. Okay. I told you, right? It will ask us while you're hiring an employee, under which legal employer you're hiring. Next, it will ask us in which business unit, in which department, all this stuff. So first 1 and 2 tabs are information details. Here you will capture address, phone, email, then marital status, all these things. Now, if I go to the third tab here in the employment information tab, we have to capture the business unit details of the employee team, the assignment details basically. So we already given the company in which we are hiring, legal employee. In our case, it will be either TCS or Tata Automobiles team. In any of this legal entity, we are going to hire the employee team. Now, okay, we are on the employment information tab, right team? Here in this company, you are hiring from this start date, and this is the employee team. If you come down to assignment, next it will ask us in this legal entity of TCS India Private Limited, let's say, in which business unit you are hiring the employee. So let's say I will give here team in the assignment table, the business unit information team. If I click on the drop down, basically our data is not yet created in the system team. If they are created, you can see them. But let me search anyone created with the name of Tata. No. Okay. Let's use some existing one team in the system. US1 business unit team. In our case, let's assume this is our TCS North BU or TCS South BU team. Let's assume we are hiring an employee in this legal entity in this business unit. But here it is India legal entity 01 and business unit is US1. Now team, the moment you given the business unit details here team, you are hiring an employee in this business unit. In our case, it is, let's say, TCS North BU team. We are hiring the employee in TCS North BU team. Next, it will ask us in which position in this business unit you are hiring the employee, in which job you are hiring the employee, in which grade you are hiring the employee in this BU, in which department, in which location. See our 4 or 5 work structures: location, department, grade, job, position. Now team, as a HR, when I'm hiring an employee team, once I given the business unit here, next if I go to job and if I click on the drop down team, what job should display here team? Only in the system, whatever the jobs that you have defined under this business unit. Same goes with position team. Whatever the positions you define under this business unit, only they will get displayed. Whatever the grades that you have mapped to this business unit in the system, only that grades will show up. Only that departments, only that location. The validation will take place in the hiring time team. When we hiring an employee in the system, the moment you given the business unit details team, the work structural information like job, location, grade, department, position information only will get shown whatever been mapped to the business unit. In the system, whatever that we create under this business unit, only that data will visible to me to assign to the new employee team. So that is the validation that which will take place in the front end. But how we are mapping our workforce structures like job, location, grade, and department to our business units team through an intermediary called reference data set. So if anyone asks me a question, what is an RDS? What you will tell him? Reference data sets are there in the system in order to map the workforce structures to the business unit. They will be acting as an intermediary between the work structures and the business units in the system team. And reference data set concept can also be used in order to restrict the information of work structures across the business units, or at the same time in order to share the information across the business unit. What is that team? First I will talk about the first statement I made. What is that? Reference data sets are used to assign the work structures to the business unit. At the same time, they are used to restrict the information across the business units. What is that team? See now, whenever I'm hiring an employee in North and South BU, I should able to see only these jobs in the system. I don't want to see these jobs like mechanic, designer, operator, these jobs coming up team. So am I not restricting here team? Like these jobs I have mapped only to this BU, and these jobs I have mapped only to North and South BU. So whenever my HR hiring an employee in this North BU team, only these jobs will show up there because these only are mapped to this business unit. But the jobs of Tata Automobiles like manufacturing and assembling BU, they will not be shown to my HR here. I cannot assign those jobs to my employee team if I'm hiring an employee in these two business units. So there is a restriction happening, right? So in order to restrict the information across the business unit, what information team? Workforce structures information, job, location, grade, and department information across the business unit you can restrict. Okay, these set of jobs are only for TCS India Private Limited, for these two BUs, and these jobs are for automobiles. Means what team? Whenever HR hiring an employee in these two business units team, they cannot get access to these jobs. In the list of drop down, they couldn't able to see these jobs. Only the list of mechanic, designer, operator, these jobs should be visible. Means the data is getting restricted, right? The job specific information is getting restricted, right? So that is what the restriction team. At the same time, the same concept of reference data set can also be used to share the information across the BU. What is that team sharing means? Grades and locations are their team. For this, I don't need to go with separate sets, right? How I gone with jobs, 2 sets. For TCS, 1 set. For Tata Automobiles, I have gone with 1 set. But for grades and locations, I no need to go with separate sets. Oracle by default given a concept called common set. For both these objects team, I will go with the common set functionality team. Means what team? All these grades, when I'm creating in the system by going to manage grades and defining, I will define under the common set team. And that same set of common I will assign to north, south, manufacturing, and assembly. So these grades are sharing across all the business unit. So RDS concept will be used in the context of jobs. We are restricting the information across the BU. Like these jobs are only for this BU and these jobs are only for this BU. At the same time, with the help of the common set feature, we are sharing across all the business units the work structural information. Locations and grades, my client is telling, Kumar, they are common across all my business units. Means whoever the employee I'm hiring in north, south, manufacturing, and assembly, the grades are common, locations are common in my business. So I can define these things under the common set of grade, under the common set of location, and the same common set for all the BUs with respect to location I will add to. So whatever I'm configuring under that set of common, they will be provision to all the business units in the system team. See, for locations and grades, we are going with common set. Common set. Next, coming to the departments. Again, I have a requirement team. They are different because the departments of North and South BU are different, and the departments of manufacturing and assembling are different. So for departments, again, I will go with the TCS department RDS. Department RDS, and again Tata department RDS. So these all departments, when I'm configuring in the system team, I will define under TCS department set, and this set I will map to North and South BU. So all these departments will map to North and South BU. When I'm configuring these departments team, I will define under Tata department set, and that set I will map for the department to manufacturing and assembly team. So we have to finalize here what are all the different types of reference data sets that we have to create in order to accompany our client's business requirement. Client will tell us, Kumar, these are the legal entities I have, not Kumar, I mean Chief. These are the legal entities we have, and these are the business units we have. Across the business units, our requirement for jobs, grades, locations, and departments are like this. Jobs to be different for TCS North and South BU and manufacturing and assembly. The jobs are different, departments are different, whereas grades and locations are common. So if there is common team, I'm going with a single common set concept. All these things I will define under the common set, and the same common set I will assign to North, South, manufacturing, and assembly. So these all information will be shared across all this business unit team. But for jobs and departments, I have a different requirements, independent requirements team. So I'm going with separate sets. All these things I will define under TCS set, and all these things I will define under Tata set. And TCS job set I will assign to North and South. Tata job set I will assign to manufacturing and assembly. So here the main funda that you have to understand here is team. These 4 workforce structures in the system have to be mapped to the business units. But how we are mapping? Directly, we didn't have any linkage to assign them to the business units team. Only through an intermediary between them called reference data set. They are acting as a bridge between our business units and the workforce structures team. Identify the requirement first of all. What are all the common things across all the BUs, and what are all the independent different things that we have? And you finalize your RDS information team. How many types of reference data sets have to be ready in the system? So once you are clear with this requirement team, go to manage reference data set and define all your RDS in the system team. And then while you're defining the locations, while you're defining the jobs, grades, departments, you make use of that sets and define team. And I told you one utmost important point team, this one. These all jobs are set, these all workforce structures are set enabled. Okay. I'm telling that while I'm defining them, I will create under the RDS. But we have to map that RDS to the business units team. For each business unit in the system, we will assign 4 types of reference data set. One job set, one grade set, one location set, and one department set. Whatever the jobs you create under that job set, they will be mapped to that BU. Whatever the grades you define under that grade set, as you're assigning that set to the business unit, all that grades are mapped to the BU. Whatever the locations you are defining under that set, as you are mapping that to the BU, all these locations are provisioned to BU. And whatever the departments you are creating under the set, as you are mapping that department set to that BU, all the departments are provisioned to the BU. So for each business unit in the system, we have to map these 4 sets: one job, one location, one grade, and one department. So you configure these things under your respective RDS in the system team, and that sets you have to enable to the business. So that is the linkage between the work structures and the business units in the system team.